Los Angeles, a city of dreams, a beacon on the West Coast. It shimmered with promise. It offered a haven for artists, for dreamers, for those seeking a new life. The sun-drenched beaches, the allure of Hollywood, the promise of reinvention. Los Angeles held a unique magic. It whispered of success. It hinted at a brighter future. People flocked to its golden shores, eager to claim their piece of the dream. But beneath the surface, a shift began, a subtle erosion of belief. The whispers started quietly, jokes at the expense of faith, dismissive comments about religion. What was once sacred became a target. Cynicism took root, spreading like a weed. The city, built on hope, started to question its foundations. The shift was subtle at first, easy to ignore in the city's relentless pursuit of fame and fortune.
Social media acted as a megaphone. It amplified the scorn. What started as whispers became shouts. Every platform, a stage for mockery. Likes and shares fueled the fire. Anonymity emboldened the scornful. The internet, once a tool for connection, became a weapon of derision. Faith, once a source of comfort, was openly ridiculed. The city, so quick to embrace the new, turned on its traditions.
The land responded. The earth, parched and dry, cracked under the relentless sun. The heat intensified. A scorching blanket settled over the city. The air, thick and heavy, became difficult to breathe. The palm trees, once symbols of paradise, drooped under the oppressive heat. The warnings were clear, nature was out of balance. But the city, blinded by its own arrogance, failed to notice, or perhaps it chose not to see.
The inevitable occurred. Wildfires ignited, fueled by the dry brush and relentless heat.
They tore through the hills, leaving a trail of devastation.
Flames devoured everything in their path. Homes turned to ash. Dreams went up in smoke.
The city, once a symbol of prosperity, was now a city in flames.
The sky, usually a brilliant blue, turned an apocalyptic orange. The air, thick with smoke, stung the eyes and choked the lungs.
The aftermath was sobering. The once thriving city now lay in ruins, a stark contrast to its former glory. The streets, once bustling with life, were now eerily silent, filled only with the echoes of what used to be. The devastation was not just physical, it was emotional, a deep scar on the collective psyche of the community. The city, scarred and wounded, surveyed the damage. Buildings that once stood tall and proud were now reduced to skeletons of their former selves. The air was thick with the smell of charred wood and melted metal, a pungent reminder of the inferno that had swept through. The landscape was unrecognizable, a twisted version of its former self. The smell of smoke lingered, a constant reminder of the inferno. It clung to everything, seeping into clothes, hair, and skin. The sky, once clear and blue, was now a murky gray, filled with the remnants of the fire. The sun struggled to break through the thick haze, casting an eerie glow over the desolate landscape. The once vibrant landscape was now a desolate wasteland. Trees that had once provided shade and beauty were now blackened stumps. Parks where children used to play were now fields of ash. The vibrant colors of the city were replaced with shades of gray and black, a monochrome testament to the destruction. Thousands were displaced, left with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Families huddled together in makeshift shelters, their eyes filled with a mix of fear and uncertainty. The community, once tight-knit and thriving, was now fragmented, each person dealing with their own personal loss. The sense of loss was palpable, a heavy weight that hung over everyone. The city of dreams had become a city of nightmares. What was once a beacon of hope and opportunity was now a grim reminder of the fragility of life. The dreams that had built this city were now buried under layers of ash and rubble. The future seemed uncertain, a stark contrast to the bright prospects that once defined this place. In the silence that followed the roar of the flames, a question arose. The stillness was deafening, a stark contrast to the chaos that had preceded it. People wandered the streets, their faces etched with confusion and despair. The silence was not just an absence of sound, it was a void, a space where hope used to reside. Had they invited this upon themselves? The question lingered in the air, unspoken but ever present. It was a question that gnawed at the edges of their minds, a question that demanded an answer. The devastation was so complete, so overwhelming, that it was hard not to wonder if it was a consequence of their own actions.
It was hard to look at what remained and not wonder if we had brought this upon ourselves. The devastation was overwhelming. The ruins were a stark reminder of the fragility of human endeavor, a testament to the destructive power of nature. As we stood amidst the wreckage, we couldn't help but reflect on our own role in this tragedy. The path to recovery seemed long and arduous, but it was a journey we had to undertake, together.
The residents, now refugees in their own city, began to reflect. They sat in makeshift shelters, their eyes filled with a mixture of sorrow and contemplation. The once bustling streets were now silent, filled only with the echoes of their thoughts. Was this the price of mockery? They wondered if their actions, their words, had led to this devastation. The charred remains of their homes stood as a stark reminder of the fragility of their existence. Had their disrespect for something greater than themselves brought about this disaster? The questions lingered in the air, heavy and unanswerable. They looked at each other, seeking solace in shared remorse. The connection, once dismissed, now seemed undeniable. Conversations turned serious as they discussed the possible causes of their plight. Nods of agreement were exchanged, a silent acknowledgement of their collective responsibility. They had sown the seeds of discord and reaped a whirlwind of destruction. The once green and vibrant landscape was now a desolate wasteland, a testament to the consequences of their actions. The city, once united in its pursuit of success, was now united in its grief and loss. Smoke rose from the ruins, a somber signal of their shared fate. Mourning became a communal activity, a way to cope with the overwhelming sense of loss.
In times of great suffering, we often look for meaning. The residents huddled together, finding comfort in each other's presence. They shared stories, memories of better times, and hopes for a future that seemed uncertain. Perhaps this was a wake-up call, a reminder of the consequences of our actions and attitudes. The sight of the burning buildings was a stark reminder of the fragility of their world. It was a moment of reckoning, a chance to rebuild not just their homes, but their values and their community.
But even in the ashes, hope flickered. Amidst the charred remains and the smoky air, there was a glimmer of resilience. Nature, in its quiet way, began to reclaim the land. A small flower pushed through the burnt ground, a symbol of life's tenacity. Children, with their innocent smiles, played among the ruins, their laughter a stark contrast to the devastation around them. The sun, though obscured by smoke, shone through, casting a golden hue over the scene, a reminder that light can penetrate even the darkest of times. The human spirit, resilient and enduring, refused to be extinguished. People stood tall amidst the destruction, their faces set with determination. They worked together, side by side, their collective strength a beacon of hope. In the face of adversity, they found a renewed sense of purpose. The disaster had tested their limits, but it had also revealed their inner strength. They were not just survivors, they were warriors, fighting to reclaim their lives and rebuild their community. From the ruins, a new sense of community arose. People helped each other, sharing resources and offering support. Volunteers came from near and far, bringing food, water, and supplies to those in need. They worked tirelessly, rebuilding homes and restoring hope. The bonds formed in these moments of crisis were unbreakable. Neighbors who had never spoken before became friends, united by a common goal. The community, once fragmented, was now a tapestry of solidarity and compassion. They shared what little they had. In the face of scarcity, generosity flourished. People opened their hearts and their homes, offering what they could to those who had lost everything. donations poured in, and community members distributed supplies with care and kindness. It was a testament to the power of human connection, a reminder that even in the darkest times, we are never truly alone. They offered comfort and support. In the midst of the chaos, there were moments of profound tenderness. People hugged each other, their embraces a source of strength. They listened, they comforted, and they provided a shoulder to cry on. Emotional support became as vital as physical aid. It was these small acts of kindness that helped people find the courage to move forward, to face each new day with hope. The disaster, though devastating, had a strange unifying effect. It brought people together in ways they had never imagined. Diverse groups worked side by side, their differences forgotten in the face of a common challenge. Community cleanup efforts became a symbol of collective resilience. Neighbors bonded over shared tasks, their interactions meaningful and heartfelt. The disaster had stripped away the superficiality of everyday life, revealing the core of what truly mattered. It stripped away the superficiality. In the aftermath, there was no room for trivial concerns. People focused on what was essential, their efforts directed towards rebuilding and recovery. The distractions of modern life faded into the background, replaced by a sense of purpose and urgency. Every interaction, every effort was imbued with meaning. It was a time of clarity, a time to reassess priorities and rediscover what truly mattered. It laid bare what truly mattered: faith, compassion, and love. In the face of such overwhelming loss, people turned to their faith for strength. They prayed together, finding solace in their shared beliefs. Compassion flowed freely, acts of love and kindness becoming the norm. It was a time of profound connection, a reminder that at our core we are all bound by the same fundamental values. Faith, compassion, and love became the guiding principles that helped the community navigate the difficult path to recovery.
We saw people coming together like never before. The sense of unity was palpable. Groups of people worked together, their efforts coordinated and efficient. Community gatherings became a source of strength, a place to share stories and offer support. Neighbors helped each other, their bonds growing stronger with each passing day. It was a time of collective action, a time to rebuild not just homes, but the very fabric of the community. It was as if the fire had burned away all the trivial things, leaving only what was truly important. The landscape, though scarred, was a canvas for new beginnings. People sorted through the debris, salvaging what they could and letting go of what was lost. The devastation was a stark reminder of the fragility of life, but it also highlighted the resilience of the human spirit. In the ashes, they found the strength to rebuild, to create something new and beautiful from the remnants of the past.
In our darkest hours, we found light in each other. The bonds formed in the aftermath of the disaster were unbreakable. People held hands, their touch a source of comfort. They hugged, their embraces a reminder that they were not alone. In the midst of the darkness, they found light in each other. It was a time of profound connection, a time to rediscover the power of human compassion and love. Faith, compassion, and love became our guiding principles, and from that, we began to rebuild our lives. Volunteers worked tirelessly, their efforts a testament to the power of community. People handed out supplies, their generosity a beacon of hope. The community came together, their collective efforts a symbol of resilience. It was a time of rebuilding, not just of homes, but of lives. Faith, compassion, and love guided them, helping them to create a new future from the ashes of the past.
Los Angeles, the city of dreams, would rebuild, but this time it would be different. There would be a newfound respect for the power greater than themselves. They had learned a harsh lesson. Mockery had consequences. Humility would be their guide. Faith would be their foundation. The city, rising from the ashes, would be a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity and the understanding that there are forces in this world that deserve our respect, our reverence, and our faith.